This is map 2, Reunited versus Runaway. This is Numbani. Runaway just won Ilios. They're up 1-0. And let's see what they're running. This is a troll. This is the defense, though. This defense is kind of weird, actually. Again, I don't like Anna without Reinhardt. Like, I think you just run Reinhardt. I don't know why you run Winston, to be honest with you. So, like, you know that Runaway is going to run the Nano Boosted Genji because they just slammed you with it, so they're going to slam you with it again. And this time, you better be prepared. So I actually like the Mei. The Mei idea is good. I think Tracer is going to have a hard time. Valatai is going to have a hard time for sure. Oni's going to definitely have a hard time. Like, why are you not running Zarya on this map? Like, why are you not running Zarya at all? How do you win games without Zarya? Like, why not just run the Misfits comp at this point? Like, I hate this comp, actually. Because it doesn't do anything. Their damage is very minimal. Like, look at their damage right now with this comp. Like, this doesn't really make sense to me at all. Oh, it's 59 seconds to start. I mean, defense isn't going to change, I don't think. We can watch. I don't think I'm not going to look at Runaway's comp yet because I know that it can change for sure. But I don't think their comp's going to change. Okay, so their comp doesn't change at all. So here's why I actually hate this comp, to be honest with you. You have damage from the Tracer. That's fine. Tracer, whatever. Tracer can get solo kills. That's a normal thing. You have damage from the Roadhog, but it spikes. It's like hook, and that's it. Hook combo. But they have Zarya, so this is like questionable. The damage output from the Roadhog is already kind of going to be hard to get kills with. Because killing Zarya with hook is hard. Killing Winston with hook is hard. So I don't I don't mind Roadhog, but I don't know how I feel about Roadhog. Like, I don't know how I feel about this combination of heroes. They don't have a Reinhardt, so that's a problem in my opinion, because I think Reinhardt's the best hero with Anna. Like, just to get Anna ults and just to like tank up with an Anna. Like, I think killing a nano boosted Reinhardt is hard even if you're a nano boosted Genji. So I don't like the lack of Reinhardt for this. I think if you're gonna run this comp, like, this is like a FaZe-esque comp. Like, FaZe might run this, but they would definitely not put Roadhog. They would run Genji, and I think defensive Genji makes sense with Tracer Winston. But I mean, Mei's strong, but is Mei better than Zarya here? Do you think that Mei is better than Zarya? Do they have any real way to get a team fight? Like, you want to think about the control that they're gonna have in team fights, and they don't have any. Like, they have no stuns really. Like, this is a stunless comp. You have Mei. Mei's your only stun. I mean, you can consider Roadhog hook, but there's no setup for the pulse bomb. There's no real easy way for Winghaven to get kills unless him and Valutaja come in together, and then like the damage can go up a little bit. But unless Unfixed like goes crazy, I don't see how they get kills. Man of Snow thinks Zarya is weak on defense here. It depends, I guess, against the comp you're running against. I don't know if it's. I think Zarya on offense on this map is actually weak because it's so slow. But I think Mei Zarya is just super good all the time on defense. I definitely see where it's coming from, though, that the Zarya is weak, but I don't think Zarya is. Like, I think you need a Zarya almost for a Winston Tracer. Like, I think if you're going to run Winston Tracer, you should definitely run Zarya. I don't like that they're running Mei Tracer Winston. Like, I don't find a lot of synergy with the Mei there. I think the Zarya makes Tracer and Winston much better, but I don't think Mei makes Winston and Tracer much better. So, I don't know, man. And yeah, I think like Roadhog Zarya is even good too. So this comp to me screams problems. Like, I don't actually know how they're going to hold effectively. Like, unless Unfixed gets some kills. But I would expect them to run Genji again, because they just slammed you with Genji, so they'll probably just run a Genji. But this is one of those maps where, like, I think McCree would be so much more intelligent here. Because if you're gonna run McCree here, like at least the Genji has to like burn a cooldown generally. Like he has to wall climb up to you, or he has to like dash to you or something. But I think this is where you would actually run the McCree on defense. I think McCree Reinhardt makes more sense if you know a Genji's coming. Like Runaway is running a dive comp, that makes sense. Like this is the comp I think Reunited should be running if they're gonna run Tracer 3. I mean, I don't like Shine on the Ana, but I don't like Morte on the Ana either. So I'm not even gonna talk about the Anas. But they have bubble for Haxel, so like this Genji again can just do whatever he wants. Like unless he gets hooked and died, then he's not gonna do anything. So that's a good sleep actually. So now that Roadhog is dead, their comp just actually has no damage. Like Lucio can out heal a Tracer for the most part. But they don't have any stuns. Like they don't have any damage to kill this Genji. So like how are they actually gonna win this fight? Like I'm not surprised at the outcome of this. Like I think that this was expected to me. Like this guy's very good at Genji, don't get me wrong, but they don't have an answer to him. Now Unfixed is switching to Genji. Like is Unfixed a Genji player? I don't remember Unfixed being good at Genji. But we'll see what his plan is here. But now you're at super big ult disadvantage because you just got farmed. Like they just got completely demolished. But I think that their comp was actually just so questionable that it was bound to get demolished. Like even now, you're running a dive comp. You have Genji, Winston, Tracer. What is this Roadhog doing? Like what's the Roadhog's like purpose here? I don't know what the Roadhog's purpose is here. Like I personally think it should be a Zarya. But then you're playing into Runaway's game, you know? Like you're saying, okay, Runaway's got a game plan, let's just mirror it. And I don't mind that because I think that they have a good Tracer, but I don't actually know how good Unfixed is on Genji. So not having Kib here is I guess hurting them, but I've never seen Unfixed play Genji. So like let's see what happens, I guess. But for this next fight, I completely expect a steamroll from Runaway because they're gonna have Nano Boost and Dragon Blade way before Reunited has anything. Like Cruz is so far away from Sound Barrier that I don't see how they're gonna survive this. Yeah. It's just textbook Genji running in and killing everything. The wasted sound barrier from Runner, definitely a wasted sound barrier, but it doesn't matter. Oh shit, we got the replay, guys. It's replay time. And now, okay, this is why I like their comp again too. I guess, alright, so I don't like, I said before, I don't like the Ana from Runaway because I thought like Zenyatta might be better, but I disagree actually now with what I said because it makes sense to nano boost the Genji because it's the same thing as nano boosting the Reaper. It's like the same thing that teams were doing at E-League. It's like they have their own spin on it and it's nano boosting the Genji. So if you look at this comp just from a just like a logistical standpoint, on Runaway, you nano boost a Genji, you get a team wipe, right? Nano boost a Genji, you get a team wipe. Easy. This is a team wipe. 6 kills. Dead. You pulse bomb Graviton. This could be like 3 to 6 kills. I mean, it's not going to be 6, obviously, but this is another team fight win. So you just stagger these 2 ults and you're fine. If at any point they Graviton, which they did, you just pop sound barrier, at least for that last fight. Like they had an obvious counter because there's no ults up from Reunited. Like Valutaja just got this. And they had no answer, like Oni just switched, so they don't have any reason. So like they can pop sound, that sound barrier was really bad for sure. Like they just wasted their sound barrier, I don't know why. But their composition has a plan. Like they're just gonna nano boost the Genji, easy team wipe, or Graviton pulse bomb, easy team wipe. Reunited is now, like they finally switched this to the Zarya. I think that this is intelligent, but it's way too late. Like now you've already lost a bunch of fights and now they don't have a setup for Valutaja. So since Valutaja doesn't have any real way to get a good pulse bomb off, he probably won't get a good pulse bomb off. And since Unfixed still doesn't have Dragon Blade because he wasn't playing Genji at the beginning, like he switched later. Like, they don't have any way to take a fight now. Like, they just swapped 2 heroes, and they're super far behind in ults, and now their only hope that they have is defending 3rd point. Like, Mono's gonna get his Graviton here, and they're probably just gonna combo really easily. That was good movement from the Zarya. Although it looks like they nano boosted the Dragon Blade. So, really good play from Winghaven actually. He got on the Ana early and he disrupted the Zarya. Quad still didn't have Pulse Bomb, so that's probably why they didn't Graviton there. But that was really good play from Reunited. I expected them to lose that fight, but Unfixed got his Dragon Blade off and it wound up working out. I think that they played really well there, Reunited. But now they're going to have to deal with nano boosted Genji in a few seconds and with Graviton Pulse Bomb. So Mono's just positioning himself right now really intelligently to try to get a good Graviton off. That's not the best Graviton. I think he kind of whiffed that. Like, he definitely whiffed that. He didn't really kind of whiff that. He definitely whiffed it. They're going to kill Unfixed. That's a throw. Did he just use his ult? What was that? What is happening? What? That just happened? I just watched that? Isn't this the new player? How do you do that? What is this? Like, I'm not trying to flame him, but that was really bad. That was actually really bad. Like, Mono's looking for a Graviton here. That's fine. He whiffs. Like, this is a really bad Graviton. Don't get me wrong. It's a really bad Graviton. Like, he almost didn't even get that Lucio. But someone just blinked into it, it looks like. So, Kaiser goes in. They nano boost the Winston here, which is cool. I don't hate it. Whatever, man. They don't have Dragon Blades, so they just use it. He gets ult and burns it. What is this ult? Why? Why did you just ult here? Like, watch Oni here. Because this Graviton comes out. They get the kill on the Lucio. And now watch Oni. He gets Graviton during that fight and throws it right here. Winghaven's dead. Cruz is dead. And they have Pulse Bomb. But half your team's dead. I actually don't know where that Graviton went. Did it get reflected? Where did the Graviton go? Either way, that was really bad Graviton. It was only if they got enough people in the Graviton, but I don't think they got anyone. I mean, they definitely could have won the fight 3v4, but they didn't have any healers alive. And they didn't have... Like, that wasn't enough people. So I didn't like that Graviton there at all. I think you want the Graviton right now, at least. Oh, it hit 0 people. So yeah, it didn't work out. Like, I didn't like the Graviton. Like, you're gonna die. You should definitely be alive. The better question: why did the Tracer not Pulse Bomb it? I actually think it missed everybody. Look, watch. We'll watch it again. I don't actually get a good vision of it, but here. Slow it down. Watch the replay. He throws it right now. It lands on the cart, but when this Winston turns around, there's no one in it. Like, this is the Graviton right now. On the cart with nothing. So, like, what do you do here? Like, I don't actually know what you do here. It's like... just shit, you know? Like, I mean, it's not shit, but like, you don't want this. There's one Winston in it. No, this is the Winston on the enemy team. There's no one in there. Relax, there's no one in there. Like, half of his team is dead. He just died, and all that they have is like, they're banking on the fact that somehow this Tracer is just gonna slam him or something. So this isn't good stuff. Like, this is just definitely not good stuff. This is not what you want to have happen here. He might have misclicked. I don't know. Point being, like, there was nothing for Velutia to do there. Like, he was just gonna die. See, he just gets farmed. This Winston went nuts. That was a really good Winston play, to be honest. I mean, okay, there's one guy in the Graviton. We'll pretend that there's one guy in the Graviton for argument's sake. It's still not worth throwing the Graviton when 3 players on your team are dead and you're not hitting the key target that's the Winston that's killing your entire team. So, like, what do you do? Like, this Winston is just getting bubbled and running at them. Ooh, that's clutch. That was really clutch. This Genji should have died. Got sound barriered and got healed, I guess, at the same time. They're getting good. Like, this is good, though. This is like what you want to see from Reunited. Like, they're just skirmishing and they're winning. For sure. I mean, like, that's a cool argument that sometimes Gravitons win games like that, but that didn't hit anybody. Like, a 0-man Graviton has never won a game. I will agree that running a Graviton with 2 people alive, if you're going to hit 4 people, is definitely good, but if you're not going to hit anybody and you only have 4 health, then it's definitely not game winning. Alright, so here comes the Dragon Blade into the Graviton. It's like cool sound barrier, but you can't do anything about it. Like, it actually just ignores sound barrier. Nano boosted Dragon Blade is just better than sound barrier, and they don't have any stuns. So this team fight was bound to happen eventually. I think Reunited should be able to hold here, though, or at least delay, because they have their own Dragon Blade. I already did Rogue versus Lunatic High. Go check out my YouTube. What the fuck? I don't... Alright. This is where the production team just kind of boned everyone, because I don't know why they went to replay that late. What happened during the replay? Like, they just switched to replay. Like, this is where they should have cut to replay. I'm not flaming new viewers. I just don't like uninformed. Okay, so now they cut to replay, but now is when like another fight's going on. Oh, here's the fight. Okay, I see it now. We're back, guys. This is it. I understand what's happening. Don't flame me now, because I understand what just happened. Watch. They cut to replay, but wait, here it comes. This is so silly, actually, because I expect Reunited to delay here with nano boosted Dragon Blade of their own. So here it is. This is the live screen. Yeah, I get it. We get it. So we only want to watch this right now. They appear to have their Anna. They nano boosted the Winston? Yeah, they nano boosted the Winston. So that's good. They nano boost Winghaven. Winghaven goes in. Unflix pops Dragon Blade. They should clean up here. This is a pretty good defense from them. I don't know, my mic's having issues today, I guess, guys. Relax. What's the status, though, for this next fight? I don't know if they need to pop Dragon Blade there, but I guess it's not the worst thing in the world. They still have Graviton Pulse Bombs, so they need to make... Runaway doesn't really have an easy way to take this fight unless they nano boost the Dragon Blade again. Pulse Bomb, yeah. They made it work. That was good. That was really good execution. Big H-Town energy. Thanks, man. Alright, so now Reunited is actually bringing this game back. They've realized that they should just be nano boosting Genjis and stuff. Like, now they're getting good... They have good nano boost targets. So they're using it really well. I don't know. This next fight's just going to be Dragon Blade versus Dragon... No, I think Runaway should definitely have this fight. Reunited does not have their own nano boosted Dragon Blade and shit. Ooh, that's a good kill, actually. So what's interesting is that Runaway is the one that switches to McCree. Like I think that this is like I think Reunited had McCree at one point, but I don't know that I don't know. It's interesting to me that Quad is the one that goes McCree here because like I felt like they were winning, but I guess they felt like they weren't winning fast enough here. Like they just got stalled for a long ass time on this point. So the McCree swap is good, but I just think it's like I personally just think it's interesting that he's the one that switches to McCree, like, and that Reunited never really switched. But he makes it work here. Like that kill on Unfixed is very big because he was pretty close to Dragon Blade. So now it forces Morte to use his Nano Boost on someone else. Reunited should have a Rhine by now. I guess. I mean, yeah, you don't really want to play against McCree without one. But I don't know if that's the reason why they're having trouble. Their comp still, I think, favors the Winston over the Reinhardt. But, like, I think if you're going to run Genji Tracer, why are you going to run Reinhardt? Like, I think you have to switch your entire comp if you're going to play the Rhine. I don't know. It's like, whatever. They could run Rhine and Winston. Yeah, but do you really want to give up the Rhine for the Zarya? Like, do you want to give up the Zarya for the Rhine, rather? Like, don't you think that the Zarya is still good if you're going to run the Tracer? What would be the ideal comp to counter this dive comp? I think, like, you want McCree and Reinhardt for sure, but... I mean, running your own dive comp's not a bad idea. Like, they did a good job, I thought. Like, I think if Unfixed doesn't die to that high noon, like, they might have held, to be honest with you. But... you have to give up the Tracer or the Genji or both, but you need a McCree for sure. But they switched off the dive comp on Runaway, so I think Reunited was fine. Like I think Runaway was the ones that played it better. Like they switched to their McCree to counter Reunited's dive comp. But I don't like ditching Tracer or Genji to go Winston, Zarya, Reinhardt. I think that that's like super tanky, and I don't know that you're still. I don't know. Still hard to deal with the nano boosted Genji, but it's not the worst. Reunited just fuck up ults all game. I didn't feel like they messed up ults too bad. I felt like their comp was just really bad on the first point, and then it carried over into the second point. But they had like a very good showing on the third point because they finally got the ults back like in a workable situation. Like they had no way to work ults on the first 2 points. So I don't know. Because they're skipping school to watch it? Now they're running... I don't know, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the Diva for a second. They're like doing everything in their power not to run Zarya, and like I don't know why actually. Like I actually don't know why. Like I said before, I don't like Zarya on offense, but if you're gonna run dive composition, like why not just run your own Zarya? Like what's the Diva's game plan here? I don't really know. Like I said before, you have easy ways to win team fights when you have like Runaway's comp, because you have Dragon Bladed Nano Boost and you have like Graviton plus whatever. You have Graviton plus Reinhardt or Graviton. I guess this comp is just more tanky. Like they're just trying to beef up and not die, which makes sense because you're playing defense. So like their comp's not bad from a defensive standpoint. Like Reinhardt Roadhog's always good. Zarya is always good, and this Genji is just playing out of his mind, so just keep running it. Onigod is not a main Zarya player. I mean, then why did they pick him up? Like if you need a Zarya player, you like someone on this team has to be playing Zarya for sure. I just don't like that they don't have easy team fight wins with this composition. Like Nano Boosted Genji is like super good, but you need a backup plan. And like that's why Runaway had an easy time like this entire tournament, or like the last 2 maps at least, because they had a backup plan. Like they were running the combination of the other 2 heroes. Like they have so little damage on Reunited right now. Like you're relying very heavily on the Genji without ult to get kills. Or Valutaja to somehow kill all these tanks. Ooh, that was good. He knocked the pulse bomb into the shield, or he broke the shield. You see all this damage Valutaja has to do? Like, I think you need a Reaper here for sure on Reunited. Like, you see this comp, I think you just instantly need to get a Reaper. I don't actually think you can win this with this comp. Like, it's just hard. Like, it's so hard. I'm like confused, I guess. Or like, I'm concerned as to how they actually plan on taking a fight when they don't have a Reaper. Okay, so now you just Dragon Bladed without Nano Boost. Or is he Nano Boosted? I don't think he's Nano Boosted. They hit the hook. That's a good way to deal with it. Earth Shatter comes out. They don't have a Reinhardt shield of their own, so they just get destroyed by it. And then they have this Diva that's just going to feed them ult charge. This Genji's nuts, actually. His tracking and his aim is, like, insane. So, like, regardless of the fact they don't have a counter to him, he's actually just really good. This is, like, the equivalent of Kib killing training bots in the server before the patch, because, like, they don't have stuns. Like, you need stuns to kill Genjis. You don't just, like, kill Genjis. Genjis don't just die. He's cheating? I don't think he's cheating. I think he's just living. They're still on the Diva. Now they wasted their Dragon Blade, but they didn't use Nano Boost for it. So now who are they Nano Boosting? They're Nano Boosting the Winston, who gets instantly Gravitoned. Because that's easy to do. That's a good counter, for sure. Outplayed. Now they're skirmishing, but this doesn't really favor Reunited too much because they're not getting kills cleanly. Like, I think they lost 1 or 2 people. I expect Runaway to be able to get back to the point, or at least a couple of them to get back to the point. Like, they're gonna be able to stall this for quite a while, even if they wind up losing it, because of the way that the deaths were staggered. I think Unfixed got a lot done there. Axol's going back in? No, he thought about it. Now it's Nano Boosted Dragon Blade versus Nano Boosted Dragon Blade, so who knows what's gonna happen here. Winghaven survived that entire fight, which I think is important to note. Like, they burned a lot of ults trying to kill Winghaven there. Like, they Gravitoned him. I think they popped... I think that was all that they popped. I guess they popped their own sound barrier, but... The Graviton sound barrier, and they tried to get the Genji, or the Winston rather, but they still weren't able to. I like how the casters switch off the other Nano Boosted Genji to watch the first Nano Boosted Genji. So it looks like Reunited has lost the Nano Boosted Genji war, and good guy Winghaven popped ult to give them ult back. But they, like, that fight's generally going to go in Reunited's favor regardless, because if it drags on too long, then they're going to wind up having to, like, worry about spawns, because Reunited spawns, like, right next to the cart when it's right there. I think Runaway just needs to regroup. Bubbled off. He didn't wait for the Zarya bubble there. Now the Zarya is like full charge. The Reinhardt's still alive and you don't have Pulse Bomb. I don't think that Reunited can win this fight because they have nothing. Like, they just burned the Tracer Pulse Bomb. They don't have Graviton, and the ults were reset because they took the double Dragon fight. So that sound barrier from Runner was actually really big because Cruz didn't have his, and it's just like easy for them at that point, I guess. That fight was really weird. I want to watch that back because that's actually really confusing. Like, I don't actually understand how that flow went down. So now they back out. Like, I want to watch it from like an ult perspective because I didn't watch it from an ult perspective. I was just like watching the camera. So it's Nano Boosted, Dragon Blade plus Earth Shatter. So like Earth Shatter is always good now for Runaway because there's still no Reinhardt from Reunited. I think Reunited need to get a Reinhardt comp here somewhere. Like, I think that not having Reinhardt's a mistake in some ways because if Kaiser can just constantly get his ult off, like, that's a good way to deal with Dragon Bladed Nano Boosted too. Just Earth Shatter him. Like, Earth Shatter the Genji, just burn an Earth Shatter to kill him because it'll work. Like, you'll get him. I don't know though. Like, I think that Runaway still is in a decent position here because they still, like, I like the Reinhardt now. Because at least now they're running Reinhardt Zarya. I mean, their comp doesn't make too much sense. But on defense, I think that the Reinhardt's just good, even if it's not the Winston. Like, I like the dive comp with the Winston, but I like the idea of the Reinhardt anyway, because the Reinhardt's a good counter to the Dragon Blade. So if you ever want to get, or if he ever gets Earthshatter, he's like good, you know? Like, he's good to go. Do you like Tracer for defense? I mean, I think McCree might be better, but at the same time, like, I don't mind Quad staying Tracer, because I don't feel like he's getting beaten, you know? And I mean, it's just a good combo with the Zarya. I mean, I think the McCree might actually be the better pick here, but as far as like whatever, I don't know that I don't hate it, you know? Like, it's like, this is whatever. Like, the comps are just whatever here. But the thing to note is that the Reinhardt has Earthshatter, and whenever he has Earthshatter, he's going to hit an Earthshatter. Like, there's nothing to counter the Earthshatter from Reunited. They don't have a shield. All they have is Zarya bubbles and like Winston bubbles. So now Nano Boosted Dragon Blade versus Nano Boosted Dragon Blade, and it looks like, or it was Nano Boosted Winghaven. They didn't even Nano Boost on Fixed. So the Genji, it was Nano Boosted Genji versus Nano Boosted Winston. Nano Boosted Genji came out on top. They burned the Earth Shatter on nothing. Kaiser just wasted his ult, I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm sure Kaiser just wasted his ult. That was a mistake for sure. Now Valutaya is just doing whatever. Valutaya's nuts pretty, or aim is pretty nuts actually. But now Valutaya gets really cocky and goes for this pulse bomb, but it gets bubbled off. And then the Zarya saves him. Now the ults are even. Cruz just pops Sound Barrier, and Runner pops Sound Barrier at the same time. But actually, both teams are pretty close to ults. I guess Unfixed doesn't have his. So they're going to have Nano Boosted Dragon Blade very soon, and Mono just Graviton, but I don't see the Graviton. So they countered the... I guess that was the Graviton, like now he's cleaning up the Graviton, so that's okay. They countered the Sound Barrier with the Graviton, which I think was smart. And then they Nano Boost the Reinhardt to keep the fight going. Because I guess Unfixed killed the Ana in the back. So this all really makes sense, I guess. But they Nano Boost the Reinhardt, and now Kaiser has ult again. So even though Kaiser like burned his ult on nothing, he has it again. Now Reunited's going to be looking to get a Dragon Blade off. With Nano Boost. But they have Earth Shatter. So if he can Earth Shatter the Dragon Blade, then they'll be in a good spot. But it's going to come down to that pretty much right now. Everything else is kind of irrelevant. Or they don't Nano Boost the Genji here. Like, I don't know why. They're just not prioritizing the Genji. They're just saying, okay, Winston's better. They dealt with that Dragon Blade pretty well, though. I guess it's just to make space. I mean, it doesn't really matter who you Dragon Blade, I guess, as long as you get kills in the back. And they wound up burning time, and they burnt the Dragon Bladed... Or they burnt the Dragon Blade from Haxel, which I guess it's fine that he uses because they don't have Nano Boost anyway. Like, Nano Boost was completely all in cooldown. This is weird to watch because it's kind of just teams are trading Dragon Blades back and forth, and then occasionally one team will get a good Graviton, and like that's it. It's like every team's just trading back and forth. Graviton, Pulse Bomb, or Nano Boosted Dragon Blade, Nano Boosted Winston. There's not much else to talk about other than the ult advantages, and I feel like Runaway is playing their comp a little bit better. Like, I feel like I haven't seen Valutaya like kill much, but he's definitely being like he's been alive. But I feel like Runaway is farming their ults way more effectively than Reunited. Like, I feel like if I don't have a counter, and there's no stats in this game, but if I had to guess, I would say Reunited definitely lost the... Like, if there was just a raw count of how many ults each team got throughout the game, I think that they had it for sure. Like, I think that Runaway was just more effective or more efficient. That was a big kill, actually. Just delays their push another 10 seconds. But I feel like Reunited's not abusing the meta enough. Like, I feel like Nano Boosted Winston's not that scary as an Ana. I mean, you can sleep dart. Like, I feel like that's so consistent for top Anas anyway. They get the kill on Quad. Quad's on McCree again, which I like. He keeps going McCree on this point, which I think is good. Shine dies. That's a big kill. Reunited should have this fight, I think, for sure. They can just pop Nano Boost right now on anything. Talia whiffs the pulse. Still lives. That was clutch timing. Here comes Hacksaw with the Dragon Blade. Can they kill him? They kited him really well there, actually. He got the kill on the Zarya, but this is so crazy, actually. This is just like a clown fight. Like, everyone's just popping all their ults as soon as they get them. I feel like Onigod didn't need to use his ult there. Like, I think his Graviton was actually kind of bad, but this is just one of those fights where everyone's just popping ults just to try to win. Like, there's nothing to talk about here. I feel like Reunited should have been able to close this out, though. Or like, they should have been able to close this out faster. But these death staggers, man, are so good. They clutched. I feel the Koreans are a bit better at hero switches. They're not really switching much. They're just like, I mean, they switched the Tracer to the McCree. Like, that's the only thing that they really switched throughout the entire thing. There wasn't really much else. I just feel like they're better at using the ults. Like, I feel like they're just better at getting ult. Like, they use Nano Boost to get ult. They use Nano Boost on Genji. The Genji always works. Like, there were very few times where Haxel didn't wind up getting like a triple or quad kill or some shit. But yeah, I feel like the Gravitons are better from the Koreans in this game for sure. Like, I felt like Oni's Gravitons were definitely not on point. And I think that they need them to be on point. Because, like, if you're gonna win, like, if the Koreans are gonna hit 3 or 4 man Gravitons, or like at least 2 man Gravitons consistently and get kills with it, like, I think you need that same consistency out from Reunited. And I feel like nano boosting Winston as like a counter to nano boosting Genji, I don't know that you actually kill the Genji fast enough to save your supports and stuff. Like, I would honestly just prefer them like just lose fights and then get good nano boosted Genjis of their own. Like, see this? Like, you pop sound barrier, but Genji doesn't give a shit about your sound barrier. It's just one extra swipe. So whatever, man. Let's see what happens in map 3.